Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Michelle Larashi and I am a college and career counselor at Pattonville High School in St. Louis. I'm also the co-chair of the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and our Show Me virtual college and career fair. It's my pleasure to welcome you to today's session, all about exploring your career. In a moment, you'll hear from a wonderful panel of exploring experts who will talk about the opportunities available. But first, I have a few announcements. As you can see on your screen, this is a webinar, which means in the Zoom language that you cannot see, or I'm sorry, that your presenters cannot see or hear you during the webinar. How you'll ask questions would be through the Q&A. So somewhere on your page, you'll see a Q&A icon. You'll click on that and you can type in your questions. Once the presenters are finished with their formal presentation, they will begin answering your questions. If we don't get to all of the questions, don't worry. The presenters will get your information and they will be able to follow up with you directly after the seminar. Again, a reminder that your camera and microphone are turned off for the entire presentation, so you will communicate through the Q&A. I also would like to remind you that we have one more week of virtual sessions. This week is really unique in that we have exploration sessions, military, skilled trades, as well as some more college sessions and some non-college options. So we encourage you to check out our list of sessions. You'll find that on our website at www.moacac.org. And this session is also being recorded. So in the next couple of days, you'll be able to return to the session. The recording will be found on our website at moacac.org. On that website, you can also find the past 3 weeks and all of the sessions that have already been recorded. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to turn things over to the Exploring group.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dave DeVite, and I want to get things started with giving you a little bit of an overview of what the Exploring program is all about. And after that overview, we'll talk a little bit about the benefits that you as a student would gain from being a member of our Exploring programs. And then I have several other folks on the call with us here today, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the career fields that we have involvement throughout the greater St. Louis area. We also have a guest speaker from one of our youth members who's going to talk about their experience with the post. We'll talk about some of the soft skills that you'll learn being involved in an Exploring program. And we'd also like to talk with you and your parents about possible new post opportunities that you might be able to help us with. The Exploring program has been available to students over the last 50 years. Exploring is a unique career exploration program for young men and women like yourselves, ages 10 to 20 years old. Primarily, we see high school students being involved in the programs. So what's Exploring do for you? Well, it gives you an opportunity to learn from professionals who already are working in many of the career fields that you may be interested in. While meeting with these career professionals, you have opportunities for hands-on experience to try some of the different activities that actually they do every single day during their work day, and to see if it's something that you would be interested in. I'll tell you what, a lot of explorers come and they find out what they're not interested in sometimes, and that's valuable experience also. You also get an opportunity to develop network contacts with people in the different fields, and maybe some contacts of people who maybe there's a career opportunity that you would like to be probably more interested in than you didn't even realize it. So as we start going through this presentation today, I want to give you an opportunity to take down some notes. These are some websites that you can take a look at when we're done here and find out more information about Exploring from a national level at our exploring.org, and right here in the greater St. Louis area at stlbsa.org/exploring. There's also several links out there on Facebook or on YouTube where you can see videos and hear other students talk about their experience. And if you're really interested in it and you want to get going right now, you could send an email to juliemonken@scouting.org. So take a screenshot of this. And if you still need to go find your pencil to take notes, we'll put this slide back up at the end of the presentation. Benefits. Why would you want to be a part of an exploring program? Well, you're going to get that real world experience and insight. You're going to be able to try different things and also build a little bit about some of your own skills and experiences, such as leadership and problem solving skills. You're going to get involved in the community. You'll be surprised. A day-to-day job isn't just someplace you go every morning at 8 o'clock and leave at the end of the day at 5. There's actually opportunities all throughout the day and all throughout your life to be involved in the community. You're going to meet several new friends. And I'll tell you what, exploring is one of those things that not many people have on their resume or job applications. There's several different types of career paths that you can find in the exploring programs. Some of those conclude the arts and humanities, aviation. There's law and government, and several skilled trades out there. Those are just a few, including the ones that we're going to speak of here today. There's 5 things I want you to be able to take away. So if somebody asked you, why would you want to be a part of an Explorer post? Exploring allows you to have these career opportunities. We've shown you this slide, so I'm not sure where your interests are, but I bet you as you look through here, you'll find that maybe aviation, or healthcare, or law enforcement, social services, engineering, wherever you have an interest, we can find an Explorer post for you. Your life skills. Life's all about learning, and there's no better way than to get together with students with similar interests. Students from all over the greater St. Louis area and even the counties surrounding who have interest in the different exploring activities that you're involved in. Citizenship. You know, the opportunity to not just hear your opinions about things, but to hear others' thoughts and how this is going to help to build a diverse, inclusive workforce. Character education. Have you ever been challenged about your character? You know, character is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Through exploring, you come to find out a lot about yourselves. The pictures on the screen, these students were being challenged to teach each other how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You'll come to find out how good are my communication skills, or how do I do things and how does that compare with other people do things? What do people think about me? And that character leads to your leadership. Are you someone who's a leader or a follower? It's been my experience in exploring that most all the young students that we meet, they're leaders. Students who can go out there and take a problem and work together with teams and become problem solvers. They can also be those people who have experience to show other people how to get the job done and how to maybe find new opportunities in their future careers. Exploring helps us through these career paths and helps you as a student understand more about how you're going to fit into those things. So what I'd like to do now, I'd like to turn it over to some of our other guests on the phone to talk about what some of the other career fields are like here in the greater St. Louis area. I'm going to turn it over first to Ryan, and Ryan's going to talk about engineering and law enforcement.
Thanks, Dave. Engineering exploring, as you know, the engineering career field in general is a very broad term that covers a lot of different facets, from anything from electrical engineering to aerospace and so on. So it covers such a wide different array of areas that all of our engineering-based programs try to introduce as many of these focuses as possible, at least give you a taste of what each one of those is like. For example, our programs at Watlow Electrical Manufacturing and the Boeing Company utilize year-long projects such as designing a Mars rover, project coding, and rocket launch sequences that expose students to what it is like to work on proprietary projects at those companies. And while you're doing it, you are excuse me, you are working with the engineers that are there at the company, with them doing this job on a daily basis, and they get to impart their knowledge to you. With law enforcement, students are working and learning from the exact same officers that patrol their neighborhoods and their communities. This helps create strong ties between the police departments and the communities they serve. Law enforcement exploring covers everything that it's like to be a police officer. And one of the big things that they get to do is they regularly compete in national level competitions on things like traffic stops, de-escalation techniques, surveying a crime scene, and much, much more. With that, I believe we're going to go to Julie, and she's going to talk a little bit more about other areas.
Thanks, Ryan. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the Fire and EMS Exploring Program. I think law enforcement and the Fire and EMS are probably our largest as far as the amount of programs. So there's probably one in a community near you. In a Fire and EMS program, just like with the police, you're going to be working right with those folks who are on the fire engines, serving the community and the people around them. So you're going to get to be able to be trained right along with the firefighters, doing the kind of trainings that they do when they're in the academy. As in that picture right there, they're learning about car excavation, getting people out safely. You're going to have the opportunity to do ride-alongs, the opportunity to put on the gear, and to also have some leadership opportunities and lead others in your unit or your post. It's a great opportunity to find out what it's like to be out there on that fire engine and going to help people. And now I think we're going to go to Jennifer.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Irvin. I work with BJC Healthcare, and as the largest employer of in the state of Missouri, we are so happy to be able to partner with and be a part of Exploring. We have 15 hospitals, and 3 of our hospitals actually have Explorers posts. So posts within healthcare are very, very exciting. We work to expose you to areas of the hospital that you would not typically see. The picture that you see on the screen now is a shot of students at one of our posts able to go inside of the OR and learn about what it takes to prepare for surgery, what it takes to prepare special procedures. And you see they get an opportunity to put on the PPE, also an opportunity to learn about some of the tools of the trade. It's very hands-on. So depending on which post that you're in within healthcare, you'll get to see an array of opportunities. What we know is that students know about a doctor and a nurse. So Exploring gives us an opportunity to show those things you wouldn't typically learn about. For example, you see the students are learning how to utilize Da Vinci, which is a robotic machine that actually participates in specialized surgeries. There are just numerous opportunities, including the fact that most healthcare explorers posts, when you sign up as an explorer, you're able to take advantage of volunteer opportunities and stay connected with the hospital. There's another area of the hospital that I didn't get to see until I went with the explorers to get a chance to see what happens in perioperative surgery. So I would definitely encourage you, even if you don't think you're interested in a career in healthcare, if you're interested in whatever career, whether this is a 3D imaging career, this is where they're utilizing the 3D printer to incorporate tools to be used in healthcare. So whatever career you're thinking about, keep your options open and know that within healthcare, there's a space for you. So really, really check it out. Take time, sign up for an explorer's post. You will be glad you did. Again, we have it at 3 of our hospitals, but reach out to Julie Munkin and she can let you know what posts are available in areas near you. So that's another view of one of our explorers posts. We take on just enough students so that we're able to offer interactive hands-on activities within that specific post. So we look forward to meeting with some of you soon, and hopefully you will send your questions our way, and we're glad to have you and answer your questions. Thank you.
So I'm going to come back around and I'm going to talk a little bit about business exploring. So every one of the careers that we talked about previously, while there's a special skill that they have, every one of those is a business. and we have to know how to run the business. One of the things we do in our business exploring program is we teach our young people to get down and think about how they can be a part of the company behind the scenes. You know, not everybody can be out there in front of the camera. It takes a lot of people working behind the scenes to make everything work. Some of the examples we have here there's marketing, selling your company, communicating, figuring out how to get together and speak one-on-one with people, get your messages across, and problem solving. We have students who come from all over the greater St. Louis area, and we talk about operations, service. We talk about the specific skills. The Explorer Post that we're showing in these pictures is actually one of our financial institutions here in town. So these students actually had an opportunity to talk about stocks and bonds. And with those, they can learn to either maybe be the guy out front who goes door to door asking for the order, talking about what people's needs are, or they could be the people behind the scenes who are helping to make sure orders are placed. There could be the people who are putting together statements so the client can see how things are progressing. And there's also the people who watch over us, such as our compliance and regulatory agencies. Every person out there can find themselves being supporting a company in those roles. And that's what our Business Explorer posts do for us. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to cue up Jackson. And what we'll do is we'll have Jackson, who's a member of the Blackjack Fire Exploring Post, talk a little bit about his experience in that post. So let us pause for a second.
Can they see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jackson. I'm a senior at Pattonville High School and at North Tech High School. And I've been going to Fire Department Exploring Post for about 2 years now. And I started out with Hazelwood, and now I'm at Blackjack for the past year. The post itself has been very beneficial to me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do sophomore year until somebody introduced me actually to the Exploring Post of Firefighting and EMS, and it sounded really interesting to me, so I reached out, went out to the post. They introduced me and gave me some gear, and from that moment on I really enjoyed everything we did, meeting all the firemen, the people that work there. The environment just fit with me. Everything just seemed right. And from that moment on, I've been with the post, and everything we've done has, I felt, really helped and prepared me for my future after high school with fire and EMS. Some examples would be in this picture here, we are working on ropes and knots and for different aspects of firefighting, from pulling tools up to buildings, people out of buildings, stuff like that. We actually just completed some search and rescue a few weeks ago, where we'd have a mannequin in the building, and we'd have to crawl in full gear and then pull the mannequin out without being able to see it all. And that's really difficult, and it shows you what it takes to do the job, and many other things involving that. We actually also the past few weeks got to climb the 100-foot ladder that Blackjack has. And that was a very fun experience. Getting to the top and it shaking wildly is kind of cool to me, at least. And I just really enjoyed the post itself and the people there, because everyone's is great, wants to see you succeed, and they're there to help. And I also like doing it because of the connections I make with the firemen and the people there, because later on when I'm trying to get a job, I can always come back to these people for references or help, or I always know they're going to be there. And just looking back at it, I wouldn't change a thing. I very much enjoyed it thoroughly going through.
Thank you, Jackson.
Dave, real quick, we did have a question. And
Okay.
Somebody's asking if there are options for students to participate in exploring this year, i.e. virtual programs. And yes, we are having some virtual programs. Not all of our programs are going to be running this fall, but quite a few of them are going virtual. I know that Jennifer's program at Barnes Jewish Hospital is going to have an open house in a couple weeks, and you can reach out to me and I can share that information with you. I know Jackson's post at Blackjack Fire, they are meeting in person right now because they're outside and they can social distance and they can wear the masks. Some of the police posts are also meeting, so it's going to be vary from program to program. So you'll just need to contact me and I can let you know.
Thanks, Julie. One of the other skills that you'll learn, regardless of which post you go into, would be some of those soft skills. And when I say soft skills, these are the things that helps to sell you and helps you to do your job. Every one of the posts will take a moment and they'll talk about building your resume. So you as a high school student maybe haven't had an opportunity to have a job yet, but you'd be surprised the type of things that could go onto a resume. And if you didn't know it, the resume is the document that helps to sell you for your future job. Face-to-face communications. While we're here virtually speaking back and forth via the computer, eventually we're going to be able to see each other face-to-face again. And being able to communicate your message and clearly help solve problems, face-to-face communication skills are the things we work on. And dressing for success. While a medical healthcare associate may find themselves wearing scrubs, and a fireman may be in a heavy coat with a hat, and a police officer in a uniform, there's so many other people out there whose jobs may require them to dress the part. And that could be a shirt and tie, a dress and suit coat. You never know. But these are the types of things that they'll look at the different careers and how to dress for success, which actually will help you become more successful in your careers. And problem solving. All the hands-on activities that the Exploring program will provide for you is a problem solving activity and opportunity to help you work on your problem solving skills. And you do that through teamwork. As I said earlier, these are students with similar ideas and thoughts. And working together with a team with people with the same interests becomes very, very creative and successful. We don't have enough time here today, but there's videos galore out there on those links that we talked about on YouTube and Facebook, where you'll see explorers interacting and working on all of these soft skills while focusing on the career activities they have. Now, there may not be a post that's specifically geared toward a career interest that you have. So I'm going to turn it over to Julie, who's going to talk a little bit about new post opportunities. And if you have mom and dad or a relative on the phone who maybe is involved in some of these other career opportunities, we'd love to hear from you to see how you could help us open up new posts.
So this kind of leads into one of the questions that came up in the question and answer just a few minutes ago is, are all the programs only in St. Louis? Because that seems to be what we're referencing. So we are a part of the Boy Scouts of America programs. We are on the different side of things, just doing programs with careers. So anywhere where there's a Boy Scout council, there is the potential of having an exploring program. So if you're in Kansas City, there's a Boy Scout council there. If you're in Columbia, there are councils all over the place. I can't tell you if there's programs there, but we will be getting to you the names of those councils in those communities so that you'll be able to check with them on what's available. The Greater St. Louis Council covers 63 counties, so there's a good chance that you may be part of the Greater St. Louis Area Boy Scout Council. If you don't know how to find the Boy Scout Council you're in, again, my name will pop up here at the end. You can always email me and I can let you know who to contact. What happens if there's no programs in your area? It doesn't mean we can't start them. So we know that almost every community has a fire and EMS department. Almost every community has a police department. Most of them in most counties have a hospital or some kind of healthcare facility. There are banks in your community. There are engineering companies. There are culinary places. So there can be a program anywhere. So what do we need to start a program? We need companies and adults who are willing to give back to our students and to share their careers and their opportunities. So if you want to join a fire and EMS post and there's not one in your community, go to that fire station. There's a good chance somebody there had been an explorer themselves at one time. Call the local Boy Scout Council, find a family friend, find a parent, find somebody who might be interested in starting that program in that career that they work in. And again, if you need help finding some information, please feel free to reach out to me and I can help you with that. But exploring is all over the country. It's not just in the greater St. Louis area. Does anybody have anything they want to add to that? And I think Jennifer, then I
want to add also, if you're interested in, whether it's exploring in one of the careers that we had mentioned or anything else comes to mind, if there is a hospital in your area and they're not participating, maybe see if you can talk with someone in volunteer services or talk with one of the professionals about starting a post. A lot of times we don't know what we don't know. And I tell you, I wasn't sure how beneficial it was going to be until we took the leap of faith and started the Explorers Post. And we've been having our posts, we're going into our 5th year, is it Julie? About our 5th year. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to adding more posts to some of our other hospitals because it's mutually beneficial. I see the slide about company benefits, but I'll just tell you from our standpoint in terms of beneficial, we've been able to keep those students that started the Exploring Post. They stay connected to our hospitals. They become volunteers within our hospitals. And they tend to participate in more than 1 year of the post. That's very interesting, isn't it, Julie, to see the students come back and how they start out the first year. They may be very quiet and soft-spoken, come back the second year, and they're leaders, actually taking an active role and leadership roles in the post. So it's definitely an opportunity to sharpen your skills, to expand your horizon. And I love what Ryan said, the student that spoke about making those meaningful connections that can help you later on in life. So we welcome the opportunity to partner with you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also want to add that we have some in-school materials, or we have some materials that can be used if you wanted to start a program just in your school that would just be general exploring. There are lesson plans and activities and other information on our website as well. And then somebody just asked us if we have law and government. Law and government is one of our career clusters. I can tell you that in the Greater St. Louis Council, we currently do not have a law and government post, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to start one. I'm charged to start 5 to 10 new programs every year, so that may happen. And the other areas of the state, I'm not sure. That would be a question that you would need to find out from your local Boy Scout Council.
Thanks, Julie. So at this time, think about everything you've just heard and seen about the Exploring program. And if you have any questions, we have a few minutes left. We'd be glad to answer your questions.
Well, and I think, Jennifer, were you going to talk a little bit about finding other opportunities in the community beyond just exploring, or how to develop your workforce skills?
Yes, if I can can you still see me? I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm back now. So yes, I was going to definitely chime in because, exploring is an awesome opportunity, but I would also encourage those of you, to start out at your school and connect with your counselors, because a lot of the high school counselors, whenever hospitals, whenever corporations have programs that are beneficial for students to participate, we typically send it to the counselor's office. So including the announcement about our upcoming Explorers Post. We're kicking off a post in the middle of October, and we've sent a lot of that information out to the counselor's offices. And I know that you're virtual, but reach out to your counselor to see information that they have on not only Explorers, but other opportunities. Then I would also encourage you, think about what you like. And if you think that later on in life, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a nurse, you want to be whatever, have conversation with people that you see doing those jobs and ask them how they got to where they are. I can assure you that a lot of them found out more about their career by volunteering. So I would encourage you to Google volunteer opportunities. I would also encourage you to talk to these large companies, medical organizations about opportunities that they have for students to volunteer. I know that right now we are in a virtual space, but I can assure you that there are some opportunities in the virtual space. In St. Louis, we're fortunate to have an organization called STL STEM, and I'll say it again, it's stl.stm.org. Click on that website and you'll see a lot of opportunities that not only are within BJC Healthcare, but other companies have for students to participate. Also, check out the HOSA website. So just look at websites that offer opportunities that you can learn more about career options, as well as learn more about volunteering. If you're in an A+ program, I know that volunteering is a big part of that. A lot of colleges and universities have summer programs that are virtual now for students that are interested in various careers. So just keep your options open, utilize the website, visit websites like Missouri Hospital Association for Healthcare. I could go on and on and on. And the good news is that we will have an opportunity to follow up with you. So if you are thinking about something that we did not mention, please, please, please reach out to Julie and we will make sure that you get information, including websites on areas that you might be able to explore of interest to yourself. Thanks. So come on with your questions.
Is anybody on this program that has been an Explorer before?
And something, excuse me, that I'll just mention real quick is we're waiting to see if we get any kind of responses on that. I know a lot of people often ask, so when do the programs run? Traditionally, they run on the school year. So as Jennifer said, almost all of our programs are kicking off right about now here in the next few weeks, maybe a little bit later than usual, but that's due to the year and at school started later and everyone's kind of been figuring things out. So all of our programs are starting now, run through beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. A few programs such as fire and law enforcement do go year round with their meetings. And then also how often do they meet? Because, you know, students are busy, even in this virtual world that we're in, there's a lot going on. Almost all of our programs meet just once a month. So you are able to get some great career experiences, hands-on with the people doing the job. And it's just one extra night a month out of your schedule to get some really amazing experiences. So one of the many reasons that we're big fans of this program.
And another question is, can I join an exploring program that might be outside of my own Boy Scout jurisdiction? And yes, we've had people who will travel to Boeing because it's such a great experience that they don't mind driving a little bit further once a month. So if there's an opportunity that you want that's not right next door, certainly you can join those. You just have to be willing to get there.
Especially with the virtual programs this fall.
Especially with the virtual. Mm-hmm.
And I just want to chime in because I think, you know, in this whole virtual space, I know that Julie and I are working very hard as we're getting ready to kick off the posts within our organization. Our plan is to make the virtual a lot of fun and be able to give you a well-rounded experience. So during our kickoff, one of the things we will be asking, we're going to ask for your input. And we're going to build the program based on what you're interested in, because we have a lot of leeway. We have the opportunity to reach out to these professionals within our organization and have them show you what they do, but also have you kind of virtually go along to see what they do. So we're going to ask for interaction, get your input, because we know that you have ideas in the back of your mind that can help us make it a more meaningful experience for you. So we will be asking for your input and your participation. And it's an opportunity to bring a friend. You know, it's not you come to Explorers and I don't know anyone. Well, invite a friend to come along with you. We're opening it up to grades 9 through 12. So anyone can participate within those grade levels. And again, reach out to Julie Munkin and she'll send you the invite and you'll be able to participate starting October, going all the way to the end of the school year.
I've received a question that asks me how many Explorer programs can I be involved in? So you join one Explorer post, you can actually participate in another Explorer program. One of the things that I've mentioned to a young person was start your freshman year in high school in the business program and then explore. The next year, that young man went on to the law enforcement exploring program. After that, his junior year in high school, he went to one of the fire and EMS posts. And then his senior year, he went to one of the healthcare posts. Each year exploring a different field. And personally, I think he went on to become an economics major in school. But part of what he was doing was looking at all the different career fields and looking how different careers intertwine with those career fields that he was exploring. It was an opportunity for that student to gain a lot of beneficial information. One of the things that he ended up receiving was a leadership award nominated by his peers in his post. And so Exploring recognized him for the work that he had done throughout the Exploring program. So the Exploring program is not necessarily about uniforms and rank advancements and badges. It's about your opportunity to go out there and learn about the different career fields. Along the way, receiving recognitions for the things that you've learned. And as I stated up front, these are the types of things when you put them on college applications or your resume, there's not a whole lot of people out there who are talking about an Exploring program. You're looking for that one step up that makes you stand out from the other people who are applying for those college placements and those careers. And Exploring is one thing that allows you to have that story about how you've gone about developing yourself.
All right, well, it looks like we don't have any further questions. I guess we'll wrap this up unless somebody has something they'd like for us to answer.
Julie?
Yes.
Hi, it's Michelle here again. I was just going to put in a plug as well. As a school counselor, the Exploring program has just been a fantastic addition to the resources that I have for students. Obviously, you met one that's near and dear to my heart, who's been a member of Exploring for a couple of years and has really, he kind of undersold all the things that he's done, being a little shy on the computer or on the Zoom meeting, but he has really been able to experience a lot of the training outside of actually running into a fire that a firefighter will eventually participate in. And it's given him a great taste of what's ahead and confirmed that this is the right fit for him in terms of personality and life skill and just all of those factors. So, and I have, as a counselor at Pattonville High School, I have had students in the healthcare posts, in the law enforcement posts, at Watlow, and engineering, at Boeing, at Edward Jones. So I've really been fortunate that our students have been involved all over the St. Louis area with the posts. And I can support what several presenters said here this evening, that if you do not have a post in your vicinity, reach out to the organizations directly, reach out to the fire or the hospital or the business. You'd be surprised as a counselor or as a student how many people will help when you just ask them for that, that information. And certainly Julie's been a great resource for me in developing new contacts. So I hope that you all will reach out to Julie and our other presenters who've shared this opportunity this evening. Looks like we have another question.
Yes, we had a question saying, how do we know if we have a program in our area? Biggest thing I can just stress on is follow up after this. Drop an email to Julie right there, julie.munkin@scouting.org. Just say the area you live in, maybe the field you're interested in, whether it be healthcare, law enforcement, and so on. And if we don't technically cover your area, if you're outside our council footprint, we'll help you get in touch with who does and make sure that you can find out a program near you. All right. So seeing no more questions come in, and we're right about at our time as it is. Just want to close and say, really hope you'll explore this opportunity, pun intended. It is an amazing chance to get hands-on real-world experience with the people that are doing the jobs every day. So you can ask them those important questions of, all right, this is something I want to do. What should my next steps be? Because maybe it's not a 4-year college. Maybe it's not a 4-year degree. It's some other step, going to an academy or something along those lines. So finding those things can help you and get you just that couple of steps ahead of everyone else, which can do so much. So with that, I will just say thank you for being here today. Thank you again to everyone, all of our presenters, for making this happen, and Dave for leading everything, and Michelle, of course, for inviting us to do this. It was an amazing opportunity for all of us to get in front of this program. So thank you all so much.
And thanks to Jackson for speaking.
Absolutely.
Yes, well, thank you all so much for participating this evening. I have a few quick announcements, but first of all, I wanted to say thank you to our exploring team. You guys are fantastic. Just so fortunate to have you in the state of Missouri. Wherever you are in the state, again, Julie will do her very best to reach out and provide you with the contacts and the next steps wherever you are in our state. And I want to put in a plug for a session that we have tomorrow, Monday, October 5th at 4 o'clock. You'll see Jennifer again, I believe, yes, and myself. And that session is on high-paying, high-demand jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. And so if you're interested in exploring some more about careers, I invite you to join us tomorrow at 4. You'll hear more about careers in healthcare. We actually have a firefighter joining us. We have, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think now who else is on the agenda. They're escaping me, but we have several individuals from different industries. Jennifer, do you remember right now?
Actually, we'll have Jill from the Missouri High School Association, and she'll be talking about a lot of opportunities for learning about other careers in healthcare, as well as, like you said, EMS professionals. So those people that are actually doing the job day to day. So I would definitely encourage you to log on to that session.
Yes, thank you. So we have healthcare with Jennifer and Jill. We have a firefighter. We have EMS. We have Boeing will be joining us. So they'll be talking about a program that they offer that does not require a 4-year degree. So I think tomorrow would be a great second part 2 of today's session on looking into career fields and how to get your foot in the door with those. So I hope you'll join us. There are several other sessions again about skilled trades and military and cosmetology careers, etc. this last week, and you can find those sessions at our website, moacac.org. You can also find this evening's recording and recordings of all of our college sessions at that same website. So thank you again, students, families, counselors, for being here this evening. As soon as I close this evening's webinar, you will be presented with a quick 4-question survey. We would love to have your feedback. And again, we thank you, and thank you the presenters for joining us this evening. Have a great night.
Thank you.